What is up, guys? McIntyre here. Before you guys go into this video, the replay took me way longer than I thought it did. It's actually an hour long. So I haven't cut any of the footage. I left it unedited as I think a lot of the talking points are important for Valla players. This video is very deep when it comes to this hero and improving on her. So if you guys have the time out of your day to watch it, I would suggest you do it. It's not me playing Valla, it's someone else, and we can learn from them to improve ourselves, right? When you watch a good player, a top player in the game play Valla, you don't really see a lot of the mistakes because the player for the most part isn't making many, right? They are, but they for the most part aren't. In this video, however, we see a lot of mistakes happen and we can learn from those mistakes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It is a bit longer, like I said, but I think there's a lot to learn from it. So thanks again, guys. Cheers. What is up, guys? McIntyre here, bringing you another replay analysis. Today we're going to be looking over Ravigneaux gameplay. He is a silver Valla player. He will be the focus of today's video. Let me super quickly get to him. So, I'm not sure how this game is going to go, but what I've started to do for these videos before we kind of get this game started is I've kind of decided to once a week, every Monday, choose 2 random subs from my stream and pick those 2 to send me replays. So Ravigneaux was one of the winners this week. And that's how I'm going to do it from here on out. That way, the subs on my stream kind of get benefits, and it also allows, for me to have videos for you guys to watch every week. So, kind of really quickly too, just looking at the compositions. The one thing that Valla needs to be careful of this game is having the Falstad 1v1 her with his lightning rod. She needs to make sure that she doesn't get pulled in by Joanna W. Even if you have to tumble away, it's okay. You just can't afford to get pulled in because then you get followed up by like Jaina or Falstad. And any sort of chunk on Valla is really important. You can't really take damage unless, you have a support right there to support you. So right off the start, already at 5 stacks. Just going to want to look to multi-shot the wave. I will say here, just on the first multi-shot, it's important to make sure that the multi-shot is hitting the whole wave, because if you're missing out on the back minions, especially, ranged minions are the minions that push the wave, right? While the melee minions are the tank, right? It's kind of a basic concept, but I think a lot of people don't know that. And so the melee minions don't deal the damage, the ranged minions do. So if you can get damage on the ranged minions, or, in most cases when you're pushing the enemy's lane, you want to kill their ranged minions and their wizard first, and then, the melee minions just kind of die off eventually. So in this case, you W the melee, but you miss out on a lot of damage of the range. So this is something important on not only Valla, but all heroes, and I think it's something that I want to bring up. So again, ooh, lots of poke. Probably in this case, I would just back completely. I wouldn't tap. And the reason for that is because you tap here, Curse is going to spawn around 2 minutes, and your tap is still going to be on cooldown because you're already a minute into the game. So it's unlikely that you now have a tap for the objective fight. It's a pretty good combo there. And at this point, you've tapped and not backed, and you could have full backed, gotten full health, and probably still caught this lane XP. So a little bit better on the multi-shot, but something to continue to work on and focus on. So again, as Valla in particular, you really want to be careful for Falstad getting that lightning rod on you. So that was a pretty good tumble. I like that. But now that your tumble's down, it opens up the, you know, Falstad can now get lightning rod on you, which he does, and I think he probably should have killed you there if he had just committed, instead of getting that 1 or 2 extra auto. If he had just walked with you and let the lightning rod kill, he probably would have had that kill. But I like your tumble, thinking that he's gonna play aggressively. You just have to be really careful. I would personally hold it until he lightning rods you. Alright, so there's the first multi-shot that hit almost all the minions. So that's really good. And now, you know, you're just pushing. One thing to remember with Valla's Q in particular is if you're just randomly shooting it like you've done here, you are unlikely to hit the target, okay? But if you isolate the target out of his safe zone, a good example would be like where you're standing. If he was Valla and he shot a Q at you, all Qs will hit you because you're isolated, right? If I drew a box around you, let's just imagine that the Q, once it hits, this is the box, right? And it can seek to whatever objects are around this box once you shoot it, right? If we draw the same box around this Falstad, we're highlighting 4 different objects that the Q could then go to, and then once it goes to that, and you know, let's say it goes to the wall, right? Now we draw another box around that. Now it could go back to Falstad, it could go up to the top tower, it could go up to the top wall, right? So if you isolate your target when you Q, and again, imagine the just kind of box around them. If there's nothing in the box, then all Qs are going to hit that. So that's the window you're looking for when you're trying to Q to damage somebody. For the most part, you just want a multi-shot for poke, right? And now once we hit 4, if we're going to take the multi-shot talent at 4, I think you will. Yeah. So at 4 now, we don't want to just pull the trigger on our multi-shot in the wave. Instead, I like this tumble here too. Like Falstad was playing pretty aggressive, but what you have to do now is slow it down, because if he's used Q, you actually can re-engage once Abahat comes off here. So once Abahat's off, you can play aggressively here. But what I was going to say about the multi-shot was at 4, because of the way that the hatred talent works with multi-shot, you don't want to just multi-shot right off the start. You want to try to build up some hatred, then multi-shot the wave. That way you can push it a little bit harder. So here you can play really aggressive though. Potentially could have forced the kill there because he had used tumble. Had you, you know, aggressively walked up on mount, autoed a few times, tumble, and went for it. So now the Falstad's going to have to back. You're getting that young Abathur mind treatment. One of the most fun mechanics in the game. And I think their team's pretty weak here. So again, because of the way multi-shot works, I'm going to speculate that you probably open this fight with an immediate multi-shot rather than building hatred then multi-shotting. So what I like to do on Valla is I open team fights like this with a Q. So right now, just queuing into their team, you're going to deal damage to their team, right? You're getting a damage, and it doesn't scale off of your hatred. However, multi-shot does, right? So here we see a tumble into Q, into W, right? So you've tumbled, which is bad because at the beginning we talked about staying away from Joanna is going to be key for you. So you've tumbled into Joe. You multi-shot off hatred, so you've built 0 hatred before you multi-shot, so you're losing a lot of potential damage. And you know, the Q is the one thing that I like here. But I don't think that tumbling there when you're standing here is necessary when you can just attack Joe from here, right? Oh, the W. Nice. Let's see if somebody comes and helps. Oh. Let me rewatch that. did you have enough mana for the vault? I was gonna say, if Abba hats, you're in trouble. I think like as you died, you have the mana. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Again though, just for future reference, you just have to stay out of the W on her. Because if Joanna can't hit W on you, and you can get your 10 hatred stack, then you will forever kite her. She can't get to you because of your bonus movement speed. Your team's fragging here. Can probably just go right back to it. Oh man, that Diablo. So at this point, I think you just sack it. Showing up is just a waste of time. Yeah, and that was really good. That was actually really good. So that's just awareness. It's really a practice that a lot of people have a weakness for, is assessing the situation and rotating correctly. So in this case, Ravage saw that the objective was done, and instead of, you know, going and rotating to it, he chose to soak mid, which is really good of him. One thing you need to be careful of, I don't know if you're typing there or what, but you dropped your 10 hatred. It's so important on new Valla. I think the struggle with a lot of you know, with a lot of the players that aren't really thinking that Valla is insane, it's because they lose her hatred stacks. So in my case, if this is me, I'm slowly stepping up here and here as I'm killing this last. Like, you have a few seconds before this drops, right? I think it's 6. Yeah. So if you leave this minion up and you walk here, and then right before that 6 seconds, you get in one more auto, your minions will meet their minions before this drops. So again, I don't know if you're typing here or you know, if you're whispering somebody, but you never really want to drop these 10 stacks. Once you have them, it's important to maintain them. Otherwise, you're like 50% of what your hero could be, or in some cases 80% here, right? You're losing 20% move speed and 80% bonus auto damage. Plus, you're losing an increase in, what is it, 5% per? So you're losing 50% more damage on multi-shot too. Like, you lose so many percentages if that drops, and in this case, it does. Had you have been standing here and gotten an auto off, you would have still been 10 stack. And you can challenge Falstad as 10 stack all day on Valla. If not challenge, just multi-shot him. It will chunk him for 30% every time. And like that plus an auto or two, even like that plus an auto tumble auto, is 50% of Falstad's health all day. And again, when we talked about it before, walking up to the wave and just multi-shotting is no more. You don't do that any longer because of the talents now. Because of the way that Valla is talented, multi-shotting off 0 hatred is not where you want to be at. And if you're not utilizing this talent, it's like, I don't want to say it's not worth taking, but you are weakening your hero. So like, Falstad's allowed to challenge you here because you don't have that 10 stack. And it's so important to maintain it. Like, I don't multi-shot waves as Valla until I build 10 stack, pretty much nowadays. Like, when a wave comes in, I'm not trying to wave clear it until I have 10 stacks, and then I can wave clear, because it'll allow me to challenge the other team. Like here, aggressive tumble is totally fine. Yep. You know, seize those moments. But now, you know, you have 6 stacks, new minion wave comes up, and you just dropped it. If you had pushed this, you could potentially rotate into this fight with full stacks. Ooh, Falstad, or Abathur mines. So again, raw Q is fine. Raw Q doesn't scale off of any hatred. So it's like the one talent that just ripping it is okay. There's no scaling there. Do we get this? Oh, good try. So here too, because of this guy already channeling, you're kind of opening up this area. We'll see if Falstad comes and breaks. Okay. Well. just for future reference, only one person should grab, because if no one zones this side, someone just can very easily walk up and break, right? So again, you're probably going to see Ravage multi-shot a lot when he walks up to the wave. And it also like weakens your ability to duel the enemy once you've used it. So if you just autoed that wave there and Jaina steps up, you have 10 stack, she blows cooldowns. For example, here she's blizzarding, one of her biggest cooldowns. You as Valla can just challenge that immediately, and you win that every time with the multi-shot build at full stacks. So here, you really want to maintain it. You need to get that auto off. So, yeah, it's like, I think after this video, you're gonna. Oh, nice find. Really good, sick. That was good awareness. Honestly, I didn't even see the Abba, but I guess when that creep kind of came around this way, you would notice it. So, seems good, guys. Ravage getting a bonus point there for that bonus question. Meanwhile, I'm yelling at him to maintain 10 stacks. He's like, yo, Mac, I'm just gonna get this frag super quick. I was gonna say, I'm a little worried about challenging Falstad when he's 11 and you're 9. Also without stacks. Your team, however, doesn't think that that's a terrible idea. It's actually a really good strafe. My only complaint. Let me watch this one more time. So the strafe is solid. I think here I come out of this bush, auto, do QW, E, auto, then strafe this Falstad. When you strafe, yeah, you want to do AoE damage to everyone. And a lot of the times it's just a mechanic that like forces the enemy team to no longer have the ability to fight because they've taken enough AoE that it kind of pushes them out of the fight against you. But in this case, you want to be strafing for a kill. Like, I think you try to kill everybody with this strafe. And by doing so, you put yourself in, like, like, I guess what I'm saying is you almost strafe too early. Because if you think about it, like, let's watch it one more time. If you think about it, you have the kind of jump on the Falstad, right? I think we can agree that you have the jump on the Falstad. So you're not pressured here to strafe. Like, strafe is like a mechanic you want to use to get away while doing damage, or go into them while doing damage. So it's like, imagine on Sonya. With Sonya, most of the time you just want to auto and slam, right? But if the other person's running away, you want to spin on them. So in this case, strafe is kind of that same way. Here, you roll up on Falstad. And you're getting a DPS loss by strafing. Okay? So if you walk up on Falstad here, auto him, you don't even have to go right into multi-shot, honestly. You could just Q, auto, E, and then multi-shot towards the end of that hatred stack. And then go into the strafe as he sorry, as he tumbles away. Then you're probably guaranteed to kill on him, So watch it one more time. Again, just losing out on a lot of, like, look at where his health bar is at, right? That's like 2 or 3 autos. And then you have that kill. Again, just usually better at this point to build 10 hatred, then multi-shot, rather than just rip the raw multi-shot. Because your multi-shot at 10 stack will kill all the range. Ooh, walked in. That ring, dude. Again, though, let me break this fight down. So I need to slow this fight down a little bit. Oh, I just realized this is a pretty long one. So again, you don't want to necessarily put yourself in a frontline position. Like, so with strafe, it doesn't deal more damage the closer you are to them. All right, I think that's like gonna be the lesson of this sort of fight. Okay, so number one rule: don't get pulled by Joe. Right, so that immediately is failed here, and the reason that that can't happen is because now you're gonna get slowed or shielded, or Joe's just not gonna cast anything. So you do get out, you tumble out, but you are forced to use tumble defensively already, and now you know you have yet to really impact this fight. You get a good Q. Probably follow it up with a multi-shot. Alright, so no multi-shot was used. And now your strafe range, if we look at it, is this circle right here. Okay? And what you do is kind of continue to press into them, whereas you want to kind of keep them at a max range the whole time you're strafing. You want to be probably further down here, or yeah, you don't want to be pushing into them. You just want to stay max your strafe range and just kind of pelt that back line, right? All right, sorry. So my dog was, the young Ralpher was barking, so I had to cut really quick. But yeah, so the strafe was really aggressive here, and a little too aggressive, I think. Another thing is, if the multi-shot had gotten off too, we might have killed one or two more people. So I like the aggression. We have to be very calculated about being aggressive. Oh, the tornado. Nice. All right. So this looks like a swing in your guys' favor. Uh-oh. Heal yourself. Oh. Gray man, go war again. Can't. Uh-oh, the Jaina. Alright, so you're back up. Now, if this is me, I'm headed to the top lane. Yep. Gray man's already soaking mid. You have a few people bot, so top is the only correct place to go. Doing the easy camp, obviously, is the right thing here. Oh, boy. Again, building up your 10 stack before you multi-shot. That way all these range minions would be dead. Super, super important. Tumble to keep your 10 stack. Alright, so I'm gonna keep pushing this, and we have another 20 minutes of this. But as you guys can see here with Ravage, he's going to respond to seeing Falstad by using his abilities, right? And in most cases, that's okay, but he has his stacks here. And so far, I have yet to see a fight where he's had 10 stacks, which is real. It's like, you know, you're losing so much of your hero. So here he's going into a potential fight with 10 stacks. But instead of autoing or vaulting to auto, he's going to use his abilities. Alright, and look at the chunk that he gets on this Falstad. That's what I've been talking about this whole time. That was just one WQ. He has yet to auto, and the Falstad's almost dead. Because he was 10 stack. But now his stacks drop. So now he loses the movement speed that he would have here normally. I was gonna say, in this case too, this is a perfectly fine strafe. So I was hoping that that guy would live so that we could say, Ravage, look if you strafe here, right? So here, to me, when he shows here, this is a fine strafe. Look at the range of strafe, right? You have the ability to cast it, it's probably a circle that's gonna bend just around here, right? It'll hit the false dad, but I don't know why it doesn't have a range indicator, but it would hit this false dad. If you start strafing right here, false dad dies 100% of the time. And using an ultimate to kill somebody who's just used an ultimate is fine. Like, a lot of people hold ultimates in heroes for some reason, but there's just no reason to. Like, use them. Okay, so we'll see how this fight goes. Again, I think the most important thing is we're still not we're not utilizing auto attacks at all. I have yet to see an auto attack be utilized in these fights. We go into the fight casting all of our abilities immediately, including tumble, and by doing so, we don't create pressure on this Joe. So this Joe's just she doesn't respect you at all. You can see here she just steps into you. Not only that, the Joe's W hits you, which breaks your strafe, because you immediately go into the fight and strafe. Like, I talk about the importance of, you know, holding strafe in that last fight, and then here we see it get punished immediately because we're opening with it. Most of the time when you open with something, the other team is also opening. So using a strafe in an unsafe position, most of the time is going to get you punished. Here, if you had strafed, you know, let's back up just a few seconds. If you had strafed just a little more defensively, right? If you go into this fight strafing even where you're currently standing, then Joe cannot hit this W on you. Instead, this seems like I'm gonna hit all of my abilities because they're coming into me, and you get punished for it, right? Immediately. And in most cases, if Joe had taken the right 10 talent and not taken Falling Sword, you were dead there. You luck out because her talent takes 20 years to go off. But yeah, so only 3 auto attacks total that team fight. I'm more than okay going into a fight with a Vault Q, but not so okay not multi-shotting off Hatred, and not so okay just not building Hatred stacks during fights. Almost, if I were to continue to, you know, further your play, Ravage, as like if I was coaching you, so in this case, for you in particular and other players who don't auto as much, force yourself to play with Reign of Vengeance. Or, even better for coaching purposes, play Quick Match and never ult. I know that's like kind of BM, but you're putting so much emphasis on your strafe that you're not playing your hero. And a lot of the times, there's certain heroes that can get away doing that, right? And it's not bad. Here again, we multi-shot off Hatred. So, I continue to point that out, but if you can learn your character's core mechanics, in this case, Valla is so powerful off her ultimate. Her ultimate is just an extra, you know, little something something. Then you're even better with your hero with the ultimate, right? Some heroes obviously are all ultimate, not a lot of core kit, but some of the time, like here with this Diablo, he's just smashing his ultimate. Again, there's a lot of people and players in the game that just hit ult. And they're not thinking about when they're ulting. They just know that they have to hit it at some point in the fight. And you get ultimates like this APOC that just don't do anything because he's not thinking, oh, okay, well, I'll wait. And then when, you know, the fight happens, I'll hit APOC and they'll be grouped up and I get a big APOC. Here, this strafe's good. That's a good strafe. Again, as you saw there, the strafe is damage as you move. That's what you should think of it as. It's a big AoE whirlwind. Big Sonya AoE whirlwind. Here, I just sacked this. I don't think you can do anything with this. It's not worth defending. Much better to get Curse here with Abathur being dead. Because all you're going to do is defend this, and you're still going to lose keep. So now you're giving up keep and curse. It's actually funny, if anyone had come to help you though, it would have maybe been defended. But Abathur eventually is going to cheese that down, so. With Abathur right now, your team needs to look to get your boss curse and then get a lot of value off of that. So I'm not sure about the vault there, but You also can't Q Abathur mines. You can only W them. Q only seeks to things it can see, right? Actually, I take that back. If you Q into a Zeratul or a Nova and it hits them, then the game will hit them with a Q. But like Zagar creep, not Vikings, Sergeant Hammer mines, the Q will not hit. I don't even think W hits Sergeant Hammer mines. You have to auto attack those. So again, open up with a multi-shot. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this. I don't mind this strafe here because this is zoning strafe. It was really close to getting pulled in by Joe. And if Joe had shield, I think you get shielded here. Like, you guys are all dead if Joe takes the right 10 talent. But I like that strafe because it's a zoning strafe. It's saying, oh, you guys want to come into us? Well, you're going to have to take all of this damage. But now, had you have held multi-shot... Oh god, that's a humongous... Like, shoutouts to Rokushu, dude. Holy mother. If I'm Jaina clone, I'm like pretty happy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, oof. This looks like this could hurt. Oh my good lord. Oof, okay. We did kill Falstad though. Who got him? Diablo? Oh, this guy's insane. He goes back to kill clone and dies. Oh no. It was a clone. No, can I type anything? That's how I feel right now. What the? Yeah, so you guys just got smashed by Abba clone, but the strafe was good at the beginning. I'm not huge on just multi-shotting like that, but I guess because your multi-shot technically is almost on cooldown once you've got off the strafe. If you hit like 2 people with the grenades, because of the 7 taunt, it would be off cooldown. I think it would be reduced to what, 6 seconds? Yeah, if you hit 2 people. And maybe it's right to open there for the slow. I'd say so. Classic Diablo suicide. Does he kill this Jaina? Nope. Uh-oh, classic KT suicide? This is the staggering deaths. In multi-shot. Finally pick up the strafe kill. Wow, Joe's gonna live here. So again, I mean, I think in this case the strafe's fine. Because you don't have to, you don't have to auto attack anyone there. Right? You're not on the flank, you're not gonna get a lot of bonus damage in as everyone's running different ways. So I don't mind that. I think it's okay to open up like that, but it's just not the same as what it was at one time. Like old multi-shot build, like walking up to a wave and doing the W just like Ravage did was okay, but like now it's not. Like he doesn't have 10 stack here when this guy comes up on him. You know, and then, you know, why not build 10 stack then push W, kill the whole wave? You know, and the ability to maintain becomes a lot harder. Let's see if this KT dies here. So again, you know, like you have all the time in the world to auto attack and then multi-shot, and instead you open up immediately with all of your buttons, including your E, so you've now E'd into their team, and you don't even have your stacks yet. You've only autoed twice this team fight. So it's like, again, going back to what I would say, if I were to further your play as Valla, play quick match and don't ult, and just auto attack. Like, sequence your abilities more. Like, this was the first fight that you've autoed to 10 stack. Now you're at 10 stack. Now you can actually just stand still and shoot stuff, which is exactly what you're doing. But you took the time to stand still and shoot stuff to get the 10 stack, and then you just started murdering people. Like, I didn't even, let's watch this again. I think you get blinded so your hatred actually falls off. But like here, when you get this heal, like just shoot these guys. Just shoot them. You no longer have to kite anymore. I think you pop your spell shield. Okay. Yeah. Which is what you do. So that's what I want to see more. I want to see that more. That was so far that was my favorite team fight. Even though it was a 3v5. But that was, you got your stacks off. Again here too, you Q first on boss, which is fine, but then you multi-shot on 2 stack. Always, 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 always build 10 stack. 10 stack all the time. Maintain 10 stack too once you get it. So right now, like, try to get an auto attack. If you can't, if I'm playing Valla here, I am actually standing here and shooting this sidewall. So the tower's not hitting me, but I'm getting stacks. What in the... And again, this strafe was, I'd say, preemptive. You could have gotten Q off before you strafed. You do get the kill, but you're losing damage, right? We're all about gaining the most damage. Another thing to take from that team fight is that no auto attacks were ever used. So we did not see a single auto. Which Valla is now an auto attack hero. She's not so much of like the caster which she used to be. She's auto attack. Here you want to defend this boss. Oh, we're getting ready to do their boss. Okay, so bossing during curse is really dumb, especially when you already have a boss. If you go and push with this boss, you're 20. You have a full health boss. You probably kill Falstad here because he's super out of position. He has no protection. Yeah, this is the right play. It looks like this Joanna actually drags you into the right play. So they're gonna defend the boss during curse for free. You guys are gonna start this boss, and if they come contest and kill you all, then you probably lose. We'll see if that happens. The weirdest part now is you have your team going middle. You finally have 10 stack. You still have 20s, so you really want to push with 20s. If I'm playing, I say 20 push. That's all. It's as easy as that. In Hero League, just for the purposes of Hero League, just type that in. See if the Abathur suicides again. Gonna be close. Uh-oh. Let's see if this is actually jebaited. If Jaina comes around here, I think you got jebaited. Yikes. Oh, get out. Live. Where's team? Oh, they're chasing somebody else. Oof. So, to say, you know, for your sake, the following them there, I think got you in trouble. If your team doesn't win this fight, you do lose the game, though, I think. It's a huge death pock. Do they not just core? Oh, that was an insane Greymane play. Does KT get a kill here? I think KT killing those two actually saved this game. Their team would have gotten boss 100%. And instead, they can't do the boss now. Or if they do try to, they probably die. Let's see. Oh, tell me he dies. Oh, he popped his passive. He's gonna die. Tell me Jaina gets rooted. Oh. Tell me Jaina gets rooted again. Get this Abathur's positioning too. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's see if we can pick up a kill here. It's all the Abba. He's gonna have infinite mines here. Good W. I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, you know, he's got a minefield, and that W was really good. To all of them. All he's been doing is just playing so aggressive. So, I hate watching it. Hopefully, after this, you don't do that anymore. And hopefully, all the other Valla players that are doing that don't do that too. Like, it's like, and again, keep your 10 stack. Yes. Oh my god, it's beautiful. There's a nest right there. No 10 stack, but you did manage to keep it there before it drops. So I don't know. Oh my goodness. This Abba is just throwing this game. I think I'm just gonna replay this. I'm gonna title this replay Valla versus Strafe. I mean, not Valla, sorry. Abther versus Strafe. Bring. Oh, tumble. Tumble aggressively. Oh. I think as long as you slow this down, you win. You gotta watch out for the false side. Oh, he just suicided. Team killed him. Yep. You're getting your 10 stack here. You want to chase that all the time because you get one more multi-shot off. You have 20% move speed. You get that kill. Greymane gets it though for you, but yeah, you have 10 stack. You have 20% move speed, which is almost mount speed, and you have a slow AOE. You have to chase that there. I don't think this wins the game. This is still pretty healthy. I'm kind of confused as to how. Oh, it's when you multi-shotted there. I was like, how did that take damage? Your core is going to be threatened soon, so hopefully somebody goes back to defend this. 4 katas on core will just mess a core up. I'm assuming that you guys get boss, and then someone's going to panic back to defend that. And then you probably won't get any boss value. This is a really good heads-up play from this Greymane, too. Okay, so here's the backs. Again, I like... This really sucks that somebody has to back now during this boss. Luckily, though, like, you do have your boss. And because Greymane got that cat is defending. Ooh, Ravage. Gotta defend this, man. You guys just lose the game? I guess you save top keep, but you take 60% of your core. So is this like the god? Am I about to see a god defense? I'm assuming that I'm about to see god defense. Like, your core's at 40%. You have 3 dead. Oh, their team defends. Perfect. That's what I would do too. Oh, they got Trib too. Oh, that's okay, curse. This is pretty troublesome. The curses, you know, do they win here, dude? Do they win? Does Greymane kill everybody? At this point, the shield is almost like got your core back to like 60%, or like I guess like more like 80 to 90%. So, like, you have to look at the health bar and then the shield, right? So the health's 39, and then the shield's about the same. So let's see if they try to kill you guys instead of coring. This is your moment. This is where, if you've taken last quiver at 20, which you have, like Farflight quiver, you have bonus attacks range. So like you can auto these people right now from where you're standing. Like you can auto this. You really want to be getting 10 stacks here. Nice tumble out of lightning rod. Looks like their team's trying to kill you. Oh, is this God Pog? Nope. Looks like their team's trying to kill you instead of the core. They're still fighting you. Good strafe. Well, yeah, again, I think you would benefit so much if you just didn't ult every fight. Because most of your team fights this game have just been you strafing. I can't even fathom this team just didn't win the game. You do have triple keep, so if you come back, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, shoutouts. You just have to defend for the rest of the game and then get an ace when they try to all-in core. Abther's had this sided mind forever. Again, just 10 hatred and then just pull that W, kill all of them. Oh, your team can do your boss. Where's their team at? Oh, the suspense. All right, well, this is like not the play of the game because I think your team still, once you get boss, has to go back and defend. You got the nice multi-shot to slow. I'm just gonna call it that. I think the Q does miss though. If you, just for future reference, multi-shot, okay, and then thereafter Q, you have a higher percentage to hit the Q because then they'll be slowed, right? So just for future reference, you don't have to pop everything off at the same time. Another, just a life lesson. If 5 people stand on the point and Joanna stands on the point, you don't capture the point. So 5 people standing into a Joanna ult doesn't change you getting the boss or not. Which obviously we probably know that, but that was some insanity what I just watched. I would stay with the real Jaina and get a W on that. Mount up here. Oh, Abathur's right there. Just, you want to stay with him until you get your multi-shot off. There we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Challenge that. You have 10 stacks. Oh, everybody lives. No, that was the winning play of the game. Okay, we're back to defense. I'm assuming their boss is gonna spawn. This is gonna be either the team wins or loses. If their team does this boss and then you kill them all, you get the boss, you win. If their team does this boss and they get it, you lose. So I'm assuming, just looking at the game time, that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, sometimes with Valla, it's better to just run with them than to try to auto them, because you will get your multi-shot off eventually, which is going to apply slow. Right? Could you imagine if Abel put 2 mines here? Alright, so because of your team's positioning and the fact that you have no keeps, I'm guessing that you're going to lose this trip. Also doing the hard camp, which isn't terrible. I mean, their team has the camp on their side, so like rotating to that, you give up a lot. But I'm still pretty sold on this being the game, or game winning or losing play. I love how this Abba's kept this eye from you guys just by mining it. So we got the push coming out middle. This is probably the correct lane for them to push, because your team has katas in this lane, so. Are they going for the core here? Oh my goodness, 2 people got stunned by an APOC from across the map. So multi-shot here. So I think you multi-shotted away from their team. Again, you have a huge window to auto attack, so I would suggest going and just playing without strafing and just focusing your auto attack, because your window within this fight, you miss like 5 or 6 autos. So right now you could be autoing Majestic. You can be autoing Horus. Even if you're just clicking the ground and you're autoing katas, it's better than not autoing at all, because even you don't have to get 10 hatred for your multi-shot to deal more damage, right? So by this point you should already have 4 stacks. And then you have a pretty good multi-shot here. Like I would say this, right? And then I think you go to multi-shot this guy. And you queued that way as well. So you queue after Monk, who's going to, queue away. Like, we can expect a queue away from Monk. That's how most Monks escape. But like Jaina, however, can't get away from that. And then now you've gone into the fight strafing. So no auto attack still. I think Greymane's just fragging everybody right now. Hopefully he autos the wave. Nice. Keeps the move speed. He should kill this guy. Actually, this guy still has passive. So now your team's probably going to do boss. Don't die to this Jaina. Oh. Okay, good E. Good either. So let's see if your team calls to do their boss. Oh, coring. If you had not backed, you probably could have cored. Core is 100% the right play here. They can't do it without the support, though. So Greymane might suicide. Oh, boy. They're stacking up. They have Catus hitting them. The core's AoE splashing. Oh, boy. Okay. So now you might do the boss. I think defending there is probably fine. think you would have won before their little couple katas cored you. All right, so it's looking like a curse. Curse is gonna relieve all of your lanes, so it's gonna get all their lanes pushed into them, which is good. It won't push that far, but it'll push. It's sick for you guys. So now this is coming down to they do the boss and you kill them all and you win, or you know, yeah. Alright, so here goes the moment of truth. Diablo goes in, just immediately dies. You're still on that, hit all the buttons. I might have taught that. That might be me who taught that lesson. I'll tumble multi-shot. Tumble multi-shot. Oh. Greymaine's up. Like I said, it's going to relieve some of these lanes, but the Kata will get to deal damage while your minions hit theirs. And so the Katas actually end up killing a lot of the wave on Curse. Like, I'll watch it here because I don't really think anything's going. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you. So we'll watch it here, right? So the Kata's just kind of AoE, even while your minions are killing their minions. You guys got Curse, and I think have achieved a hard camp. Tell me Ariel doesn't die. It's a clone, so it should despawn as long as he runs the right way. Yeah, good. Now the Diablo's gonna respawn, and I think this is the boss something. Boss something's gonna happen right now. I like this aggressive play by Greymane. Might as well. Their team's defending. We see Jaina bot. The Greymane is maintaining his thing. He went from here to this wall, up to this minions. He's maintained his hatred stacks, quotation marks. Again, you want to auto to 10 and then multi-shot here. Here we go. I think you're doing it. If you actually auto to 10 and multi-shot, I'm gonna freak out. It's like you've been listening. You're at 10. They're doing their boss. You're doing your boss. So the question is now, do you just charge their base? Tell me you charge. You can't defend. You have to charge their base. Oh my Jesus. We're fighting. How did you have vision? Wait a second. Oh gosh. Oh no. Ring of Frost. You're getting a good flank. Now you can strafe. Tumble auto. The Abba's right there. Oh my goodness. So their boss 100% wins now. Oh, they have Katas too. GG. Yeah, so I'm just gonna point it out one more time, Ravage, and I'm not putting you down in any way at all. But the one thing that I really want you to work on, and just I hope all of us see this video and work on it as well, is auto attacking. Because if you don't auto, then you might as well play a mage. Like, honestly, play Chromie or something. Valla's autos are the reason you play her, because they deal so much damage, especially at max hatred. So, like, this fight, it's about to break out, but watch the number of auto attacks that actually come out, right? So we can tell by the hatred at the bottom left. The one auto attack. And yeah, it's like, to me, I would much rather just have you on a mage if you're not going to utilize that. So to get better, to improve from this replay. So obviously, if your team had made the call to just go core, I think you could have won here too. Even though the Katas were on your core eventually, you still had a window. Like, I think this Kata is going to kill this Kata. So you had a window to rush their core. But outside of that, just for you to improve your own mechanics, for sure, go into try mode with Valla and auto attack move. Practice that. That's important. Practice team fighting without relying so much on strafe, because every fight so far has just been, oh, I have a 1v1 with this person, let me strafe, right? Like, if you're in a 1v1, don't strafe. You're losing damage, right? I talked about that earlier, and that's really important. Now, if you have Rain of Vengeance, it's different. Raining in a 1v1 is good because you're going to stun and deal damage, and you can still auto attack, right? But strafing is, it's an AoE damage, you know, pattern. It's you're throwing little stones at the enemy instead of shooting arrows, right? And like figuratively and literally, it's like you have an insane auto attack damage, and to not utilize it and to fall back so far behind on your strafe is almost, you know, not worth playing Valla, if that makes sense. So hopefully after watching all of this video, a lot of you Valla players will see what is happening and learn on that, right? She's a completely different hero than what she once was. It's super important to auto attack whenever you can and to maintain these. If you're not maintaining these, then playing Valla is not necessarily that it's not gonna be good, it's just not gonna be what it can be, you know? So super important. I hope that, you know, this helps a lot of Valla players and clears up a lot of things. Maintaining stacks is everything, just like Greymane's W, except in this case you have 6 seconds instead of, I think with Greymane it's like 3. And you get bonus, you get that 13 talent that Greymane has base at level 1. Like, you have an AoE slow. It's like, I think the reason she's just way more insane than Greymane is because Greymane is her, but she has an AoE cone, like, that doesn't have to hit anybody to blow up in cone. That does insane damage and slows. And she has spell shield. You know, like, everything about her kit is just Greymane times 2. That's why I think a lot of people are like, why haven't we seen Greymane as much? It's because this hero exists. So, again, hopefully, you know, that this helps everybody. Again, Ravage, try to run with that advice. I don't think, as far as your game sense goes, I don't think it was wrong. I think that you're playing the team fights correctly. You're just not playing the hero correctly. Does that make sense? So hopefully this video will help you out, and it will help out all the other Valla players out there that are trying to improve and get better at this hero. But with that said, guys, thank you guys all so much for hanging out with me in this video. I'm going to run this out while I talk the rest of this video. But if you did enjoy this, please make sure to throw a like and subscribe to my YouTube. I will be uploading these twice a week, and on every Monday, if you're subscribed to my Twitch, you will be able to... Wow, look at that bug. If you are subscribed to my Twitch channel, every Monday I will pick 2 random subscribers to upload their videos and have me go over them, just like I've done here with Ravage. So hopefully this will become a lot more fun for a lot of people, and everyone can learn from everyone else's mistakes, or, you know, possibly even successes. And yeah, this will continue to help the community get better at the game. But again, shout outs to Ravage for letting me shred up his replay today for the better good of the world. Guys, always follow me on Twitch and Twitter, which will both be located below. And that's kind of it for me today, guys. So I will see you all next video. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, cheers, guys. Have a good one.